Today we're going to talk about something that affects almost everyone, legal drugs, and how they might be impacting your anxiety more than you realize. Hello again, I'm Dr. Monica Frank with Excel at Life, and welcome back to another episode of Quieting Anxiety. Before we begin, let's take a moment to slow down. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. As you continue to breathe, imagine a wave of warmth starting at the top of your head, gently washing down over your face, softening the muscles in your forehead and around your eyes. Feel your jaw loosen, your shoulders relax, and any tension melt away, like warm water flowing down your back. Just allow yourself to settle into this moment. Now that you're feeling more relaxed, let's talk about something that affects millions of people every single day: legal drugs. These are substances we often use without a second thought, but they can have a powerful impact on anxiety. I'm talking about caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, marijuana, and even some prescription medications. Many people believe these substances help with anxiety. Maybe you've heard someone say, "I need a drink to calm down," or "a cigarette helps me relax." And in some ways that can feel true. But the reality is, these substances often create more anxiety in the long run. Now let me be clear. I'm not here to tell you to completely eliminate these substances from your life. My goal is to help you understand their effects on anxiety so you can make informed choices about what works best for you. So let's take a closer look at how these common substances impact anxiety, both in the short term and over time. Alcohol is one of the most common ways people try to take the edge off anxiety. You've probably heard someone say, "I've had a rough day, I just need a drink to relax." And in that moment, yes, alcohol can have a relaxing effect. But here's the problem. Alcohol doesn't just go away after the buzz wears off. It changes your brain chemistry. When you drink alcohol, it affects GABA, a neurotransmitter that calms the nervous system. This is why alcohol can feel soothing at first. But as your body processes the alcohol, GABA levels drop, which can actually make you feel more anxious later. This is called rebound anxiety. For some people, this cycle looks like drinking to relax, feeling calm temporarily, experiencing increased anxiety as alcohol wears off, and drinking again to relieve that anxiety. Over time, this cycle reinforces anxiety rather than reducing it. I remember working with a client who had recently retired. She and her husband had a dream: traveling the country in their RV. But there was a problem. She couldn't get more than a few steps away from the RV without having a panic attack. So to cope, she turned to alcohol. It felt like a quick fix, but over time it kept reinforcing the panic. Our work together focused on breaking that cycle. She quit drinking, and one day I got a postcard from her. She was in a cable car high up in the mountains, panic-free. That's the power of addressing the real issue instead of masking it with alcohol. If you find yourself in the same way, relying on alcohol to manage stress, it's important to take a step back and evaluate whether it's helping or making things worse. Caffeine is another common stimulant that many people don't associate with anxiety, but it can have a major impact. And it's everywhere. Coffee, energy drinks, tea, soda, some medications. And for most people, it's not a problem in small amounts. But too much caffeine can actually cause anxiety symptoms. It stimulates the nervous system, which can lead to jitters, restlessness, increased heart rate, and difficulty sleeping. For people who are already prone to anxiety, caffeine can amplify those feelings, making it harder to stay calm. The general guideline is to stay under 400 milligrams per day, which is about 4 8-ounce cups of coffee. That's 8-ounce cups of coffee. I have to emphasize that, as many purchase coffee out, which is usually more than 8 ounces. But for people sensitive to caffeine, even less can trigger anxiety. However, be careful. If you've been consuming a lot of caffeine, quitting suddenly can lead to withdrawal symptoms like headaches, fatigue, and increased anxiety. The best approach is to reduce caffeine gradually rather than quitting cold turkey. Nicotine is also often misunderstood when it comes to anxiety. Many people swear that smoking or vaping helps them relax. But here's the reality. Nicotine is a stimulant, not a relaxant. So why does smoking or vaping feel calming? It's actually a trick your brain plays on you. First, if you've been using nicotine regularly, your body gets used to it. When you go a few hours without it, withdrawal kicks in, making you feel irritable, restless, and on edge. Then when you take a puff, those withdrawal symptoms fade, making it seem like nicotine is calming you down. But that's just because it's temporarily fixing the discomfort it caused in the first place. Second, smoking forces you to breathe slowly and deeply, which is a natural way to relax. The act of breathing is often what's calming you, not the nicotine itself. Over time, this creates a cycle where the brain associates nicotine with relief, reinforcing the habit. If you want to reduce nicotine use, quitting suddenly can cause a spike in anxiety. A gradual approach, along with alternative coping strategies, tends to be more successful. Let's talk about marijuana, which has become increasingly popular as a supposed treatment for anxiety. You may have even seen products marked specifically for anxiety relief. But the truth is, marijuana's effects on anxiety are complex and often misunderstood. For some people, small, occasional doses of marijuana can feel relaxing. But for others, especially those prone to anxiety, it can actually trigger or worsen anxiety, especially with the higher concentrations of THC in today's marijuana. I can't tell you how many times I've asked new clients, "When did you have your first panic attack?" And their answer was, "The first time I smoked marijuana." THC can increase heart rate, dizziness, and paranoia, mimicking the panic attack symptoms some people experience. Higher doses are more likely to cause anxiety rather than reduce it. Like alcohol, chronic marijuana use can lead to rebound anxiety, where it temporarily numbs symptoms but increases them over time. Marijuana is not a proven long-term solution for anxiety, and in many cases, it can make things worse. Many people are shocked to learn that some anti-anxiety medications can actually cause more anxiety over time. The most common culprits: the benzodiazepines like Xanax, Ativan, and Valium. These medications work quickly, but they're not meant for long-term use. They can cause dependence, meaning you need higher doses over time. They create a rebound effect, where anxiety comes back stronger when the medication wears off. If you're taking anti-anxiety medication, it's crucial to work with your doctor to use it appropriately and explore long-term strategies like cognitive behavioral therapy instead of relying on medication alone. Let's also talk about the impact of legal drugs on sleep and how that can affect anxiety. Legal substances such as alcohol, marijuana, nicotine, and caffeine can significantly affect sleep quality, which in turn can worsen anxiety symptoms. While some of these substances may initially seem to help with relaxation or sleep, their effects often interfere with the deeper stages of restorative rest. Alcohol, for example, is known to reduce sleep onset time, meaning it may help you fall asleep faster. However, research shows that alcohol disrupts REM sleep, the critical stage of sleep associated with dreaming, emotional processing, and memory consolidation. As alcohol wears off during the night, sleep becomes fragmented, resulting in more frequent awakenings and less restorative rest. Over time, this pattern can heighten anxiety symptoms due to poor emotional regulation and increased fatigue. Marijuana may similarly appear to promote sleep, especially strains with higher levels of THC. However, studies suggest that while THC can decrease the time it takes to fall asleep, it may also reduce REM sleep and contribute to grogginess the following day. Chronic use can alter your sleep cycle, making it harder to achieve deep, restorative sleep. Both nicotine and caffeine are stimulants, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Those using nicotine in any of its forms often experience lighter, more fragmented sleep with frequent awakenings. Nicotine withdrawal symptoms, which occur within a few hours of the last dose, can also disrupt sleep, particularly in the early morning hours. Caffeine, well known for its stimulating effects, can last far longer than most people realize. Even when consumed in the afternoon, caffeine can delay sleep onset, reduce total sleep time, and diminish the quality of deep sleep stages, and more vulnerable to anxiety the next day. Poor sleep caused by these substances can create a vicious cycle with anxiety. Lack of quality sleep impairs the brain's ability to manage stress, making anxious thoughts and emotions feel more overwhelming. Chronic sleep deprivation can heighten the body's fight or flight response, making you feel more tense, irritable, and less equipped to handle everyday challenges. When you're struggling with anxiety, improving your sleep hygiene by reducing or eliminating these substances, especially in the hours before bedtime, can be an important step in calming your mind and improving your overall well-being. If any of these scenarios sound familiar, it might be time to rethink your relationship with these substances. It's easy to ignore how much these substances could be affecting your anxiety. Take a moment to reflect. Is your anxiety being made worse by caffeine, alcohol, nicotine, or marijuana? Are you taking any prescribed medications that could be causing rebound effects? If you're using these substances regularly, consider reducing them gradually and replacing them with healthier coping strategies. And if you're struggling with making these changes, talk to your doctor or therapist to create a plan that works for you. This isn't about giving up everything you enjoy. It's about making informed choices that truly support your mental well-being. Even small adjustments can lead to big changes over time. So take a moment to reflect. Is there one habit you could shift, even slightly, to better support your anxiety relief? Remember, every step forward counts. Before we wrap up, let's just take a moment to reset. Bring your attention back to your breath. No need to change anything, just notice it. Feel the steady rhythm, the gentle rise and fall. Now return to that warm wave of relaxation we started with. Imagine it flowing back over you, starting at the top of your head and moving down. As it travels down your face, let your jaw soften. Let your shoulders sink just a little deeper, releasing any remaining tension. Feel it moving through your arms, your hands, down your spine, and finally through your legs, leaving behind a sense of lightness and ease. With every breath, allow yourself to settle into this feeling of calm. Carry it with you as you move forward with your day, knowing that you have the ability to create moments of peace whenever you need them. Until next time, keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep moving forward.